everybody. Oh, it's Friday night, and I'm running solo, kind of. Not really solo. Donna's not here. She is on vacation once again because she's always on vacation. Slacker. Slacker. She's not here. She can't hear me. But Tim Vickers is in the background. He's monitoring the chat room. I called in my backup today, and he had nothing to do. Thankfully, so he's in the background. But how is everyone? Look at everyone showing up. Woo! We got Beautiful Nights. Oh, that's a cool name. Shauna. We got Bob. This is Tom's World. Daniel Reed. Diane. Christine. Oh, man. Everybody's showing up. This is great. So it's open mic night. You know what that means. Got no plan. Got nothing to do. But we got rules. We do have rules. So let me go over the rules. Where are my rules? Bam. There they are. Wrong side. Bam. Let me do that again. Ready? Bam. There we go. All right. Rule number 1 is that you are welcome to ask questions, especially tonight because it's open mic night. The show only keeps going because you guys ask questions or throw topics out there. And if you don't have questions, if you don't have topics, if everyone's not talking in the chat room, then I go home early and stay up and play video games all night. Rule number 2 is that I don't know everything. I just don't. I mean, I pretend I do. I try to learn everything, but there's so much shit I don't know. So I might say I don't know, and that's perfectly acceptable. But we'll look it up. I do have my notebook. I got a big one, legal pad this time. So I'll write down notes. We can look it up on Google. I can share the screen. We can learn together. Rule number 3, yes, is the Patrick Swayze rule, and that means be nice. If you're in the chat room, you are welcome to have a discussion or debate, have fun. You can disagree too. That's cool. But just don't devolve into name calling and stuff like that. Basically, don't be a dick. That's all. It's real simple. Rule number 4 is if you do have a question tonight, do me a favor, put a capital Q in front of it. And that way it helps Tim in the background flag it for later or as I'm answering questions. And I do have a tendency to run on with my answers. So if we get backed up, the Qs help him get them all in the queue. And then the Q makes it go into the queue. I never caught that before. That's funny. All right. And then the rule number 5, drink up. This is my favorite rule. Oh, it's Friday night. That's good. And like I said, it is open mic night. Check that out. Ooh, the timing on that was good. All right, let me see what we got here. We got more people coming in. Ooh, Cindy Clark, first time here, just checking in. Hello, Cindy. Nice of you to drop by. That's awesome. I love that. I love one. We got one question so far. So again, if you have a question, please put it in the chat room because if you don't, this is going to be an extremely short show. I mean, I have a few things I can talk about and go off about, especially my last article, maybe a ghost hunting gadget that I recently built and almost done a video that I'll be putting out later. But yeah, otherwise it's going to be a short show. So, and I have just a little bit of a bribe to entice people. Maybe if you have a question and you want to come on to discuss it in depth, just a little bit. It's not a big deal. Don't like get crazy. But I have some leftovers from SciCon, one of the workshops. Richard Wiseman, awesome guy. He does a lot of magic stuff, but he is also a great critical thinker, great skeptic, awesome speaker. He did a workshop about skeptics and magic tricks and stuff like that. And one of the magic tricks was the sliced rope, which I'll show you. See, you get a nice, like that. And then you go, oh my God, it's cut in half. But then you put it back together and it still works. I think I gave away the trick. Anyway, so I'll have that. And I got a bunch of stickers and I might find some other things to throw into a little envelope package and send it out to you. But that's only if you have a good question and you want to come on and share the screen with me and talk to me for a little bit, because I usually do that and people get shy. I don't know why. They get shy. They don't want to come on. They just want to, which I get, you know, I guess I get it. I'm just a very outgoing kind of person, I think. The more I drink, the more outgoing I am. Anyway, all right, we got a couple questions, so let's get first up. What do we got? Oh, look at that, Diane. Did you see the new Doctor Who episode? So, so I know Daniel Reed's going to love this. I have not, and I probably won't because I'm not a Doctor Who fan. I don't. I used to watch. I watch the original series once in a while, and it's only because that was the only sci-fi thing that was on at the time when I was growing up. So I would watch it until the next show would come on, and it was usually something that I liked. So I'm not a fan of Doctor Who. It's never been my thing. I watched a few episodes here and there just to try it again because so many people were like into it, and it's such a big phenomena, but just never got hooked on it. So just not my thing. Sorry about that. All right, what else we got? Our stupid questions. There are no stupid questions, just stupid people. I try not to say that. Actually, the word stupid is something that I try not to use. I just don't like it. It doesn't trigger me. I just don't like it because not everyone has the same experience or knowledge as everyone else. So what may be stupid to one person is not to another person. Like if you know everything about physics and somebody asks a physics question that sounds stupid, I don't know, and so I don't use that word personally. But no, you can ask questions. If you think it's silly or something, ask anyway. What's going to happen? Bob, who is Doctor Who? Bob is getting closer to being Vickers. Who is Doctor Who? I don't know, Bob. It's a bunch of people, I guess. The concept is weird. I guess it's like one entity that keeps getting reborn as in a different body. And then I heard everybody was all the fans were pissed off because it was a woman for a season or something like that. Come on, man. Come on. Anyway, what else we got? Running out of questions quick. What do you think about the Obelisk 5 Ghost Box and the laser grid system? Thanks. These are good. These are good. This is a good topic. So let me write it down just in case the question goes away. Obelisk 5 and the laser grid. So basically, the Obelisk is a word generator. There's been many incarnations. Obviously, by the number 5, it tells you there's at least 5 of them. But I know that there's also like B versions, I think. So like there was Obelisk, I think 2, and then there was a 2B. And so I don't know how many there are. But for me, they are word generators. I think the early ones more had like a data bank, and it would just spit out random words that were in the data bank. And I think other ones just spit out random words that it would pull from different things. I'm not sure exactly. I've played with the football shaped one. I had that. And then there was another one that was a smaller box that I played with a little bit. I don't see any legitimacy to them. I think they're just word generators, and it works off the idea that. So let me back up a second. There's practices among ghost hunters where they do like EVP sessions, and so I'm going to throw the Obelisk in with this too. But ghost hunters will ask questions. I don't know why I'm using my hands a lot. I must be Italian today. So ghost hunters will ask questions and then wait for an answer. So whether it's coming from a broken radio or a Obelisk or something like that, or an app. The Obelisk 5 is selling for $600. Oh my God, that's ridiculous. Don't buy it. So when they ask questions, they wait for an answer. And if somebody hears a response, what they consider a response, it doesn't matter if it actually answered the question or not. Usually ghost hunters go with that. They go with that conversation. So for example, if somebody says, hey, what's your name? Can you tell us your name? And then somebody hears a response of stairs, like stairs, like going up and down stairs. Instead of saying, well, you know what, that's a neutral, that's a negative result because it didn't answer the question. Usually what I see is the group that's doing this says, "Oh, what happened? Did you fall down the stairs? Did something happen on the stairs? Did you slide? Is that where you broke your leg or something like that?" The conversation keeps going. Oh shit! Here we go. How do you teach a ghost to use it? Bullshit. That's coming from one of the most popular ghost hunters ever. Wow. All right, that distracted me. Threw me off. Hey Jason, how you doing, buddy? Anyway, so the conversation keeps going, and it continues on, even though the answer did not answer the original question. It just keeps going on. So I see this when people use the obelisk as well, where they ask a certain question, a word comes up on screen or is spoken through the the speak and spell voice, and no matter what that word is, the conversation will change and tailor to that generated word. So it's an anomaly hunting technique. That's all it is. It's not giving you legitimate results. It's giving you random anomalies, random words, and it's kind of toying with you. Honestly, I mean, if I was going to break it down and be totally blunt, I think it's an overpriced gadget that fucks with you. That's what it does. It's like, oh, pay me a couple $100 or like $600, I think that was on the screen, $600 for one, and it'll just spit out words, and I'll just watch you like follow the trail of breadcrumbs that leads to nowhere. But they already got your money. So the ghost box itself is the narrative. Yes, exactly. That's what it is. You can sit here and do the same thing. I mean, you can write a whole bunch of different words on paper, cut them up, and like fold them up, put them in a hat, shake them up, throw them up in the air, and then start picking them up at random after asking questions, and then follow whatever the paper says. So throw it up there. You say, "Oh, how did you die?" And you get the name Rob. You're like, "Oh, is your name Rob?" Then you can just play that. It's like a game. Ooh, that might be a ghost hunting game. Like build your own ghost story. Just throw random words. All right, so that was the obelisk. I hope that answered that part of the question. When it comes to the laser grid, I don't like the laser grid thing at all. I think it's silly. And let me explain. Let me explain why I think it's silly. You have to use it in the dark. Honestly, I mean, if you turn it on during the day when a fully lighted room, you can barely see it. So the standard procedure is that people turn the lights out, they turn the laser grid on, and they wait for seeing a disturbance in the force, disturbance in the laser beams. But the thing is, the laser grid is creating visible light, which you can see. So why not just keep the light on? I don't understand the concept. It's a wasted method because you're dulling your senses a little bit. You're actually making it harder for you to see and recognize if there's actually movement or if it's your eyes playing tricks on you because it's trying to adjust to the darkness and then this grid. So I don't use it. I think it's silly. I think it's a silly concept, and I would not spend your money on it or go off of that, because what happens if something does move in front of it? What if it's a moth? And you're not gonna see it. If a moth or maybe a bat, if there's a bat in like an old abandoned building, something like that, flies by it, it's only gonna be a fraction of a second. You're not gonna catch it. So it just seems like a waste of time to me. And every time I've seen groups use it, nothing has come of it. And it's usually just for observation. They sit there, they watch it, they freak out. And, oh, I saw something. I think I saw something down there. I think I saw a shadow. I think this, I think that. But nobody documents shit. Where's the data? It's not. It's usually subjective observations, and that's it. They move on to the next one. But you're welcome. You're welcome. I hope that it did answer your questions and maybe helped you out a little bit, or maybe gave you an idea about a different way to think about it. I don't know. So I hope it did. So, this is great. We got like 25 people watching. That's nice. I hope I don't butcher your name. Serafina? Is that right? I hope that's right. What happened with the paranormal porn toy you made? The So that's a good question. Thank you for asking. The sex toy glow stick, which I really wanted to name it, but I thought that might be a little bit too adultish because I do have it on display. Right now it's out. It's out in the lobby here because I'm in my office. It's out in the lobby. I have a smaller version here that I built, but what I did was actually I made a video and I'm in the middle of editing it. It's almost done. I'm going to put it out as a standalone, showing you just putting it together, where I saw it, talking about it a little bit with the conversation that I had with the builder, and that's smaller. It is. This is smaller. This is. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna do something. Don't move. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. I'm running. I'm running. I'm running. I'm coming back. Here I come. Coming back. Coming back. All right. Here it is. God damn, that was exercise. Anyway, so yes, it's a little smaller. It's a little smaller. So this is the one I made. Here we go. There we go. And this is green. I don't know if you can see it. It's green. It's very green. This one I built. Let's see. There, that lights up too. So basically, and I'll give you guys the scoop since you're watching now. So basically, I saw this at a conference. Somebody had one of these with a different box. The only thing that's different here is the box and the length of my shaft. Because I had a piece of leftover PVC, but it's the same thing. It's the same concept. It's just about, I don't know, like 6 inches longer. Oh my God, there's so many jokes with this. And it actually does have, when you circumcise it, you can take it out and actually attach other LED lights if you want to. But I made mine so it actually tucks in. The original one doesn't tuck in, tuck back. So basically, it's a motion sensor. That's all it is. And it's $120 for the original one. It was $120. And my challenge to myself, because a friend of mine purchased one, and I kept trying to tell her not to. Please don't. Please don't. Don't waste your money. I looked at it real quick. I was able to look up the parts real fast. Within 5 minutes, I found all the parts. So I built this replica. Again, the only thing that's different is the box. With the same kind of parts, everything, same sensor, which is right there. And I duct taped it. I didn't use the rubber the rubber wrap. Oh my God, it just keeps coming. So with this only cost me $26 to build, and about an hour of my time. So yeah, literally an hour of my time. And that was figuring out the wiring, how everything goes, how to put the alarm. I left the bottom off so you could actually see what's in there. There's the speaker, there's a battery pack, and all the lines going into it. It looks like shit, but I mean, $120 for basically the same thing. I don't know why. Like, if I was to make these and sell these, I would sell them for like $60. And I think that's fair because it costs $26 to do it. It costs an hour of my time, and you usually like double the parts to make your money back and more, make a little bit more so you can buy other parts. But I mean, $60 is good, but 120? No. And then I built the smaller one. You guys are getting like the exclusive. You're basically getting all the video, the whole video that I made earlier today, which will be out in a couple days. So I made this one from a pack that I got from Home Depot. So I went to Home Depot, and you buy this. It's for $10, and it's a 40-inch strip with a motion sensor already attached. So you get. Wait, come on. Focus. There it is. So there's the motion sensor dome. You turn it on. The light connects in. I made a PVC frame, again, with scraps that I had left over from different projects. So this cost me, it cost me $10, and about 10 minutes of my time. So the point of that was to show, like, you can make this stuff. Like, I don't believe in ghosts. I do not believe in ghosts. Most of you guys know this already. And I see all the gadgets out there, and I see how expensive they are and how much money is being wasted on gadgets that either do the same thing as every other gadget out there, or they're just repackaged, or they don't do what they're claimed. Like, you can't claim to detect a ghost when you have no fucking clue what a ghost is or how it affects the environment. You just can't do it. You can't. So I get pissed off when I see things like this costing hundreds of dollars and people buying it without knowing what's inside of it. That's why I take these things apart. That's why I ask for donations, like donations of equipment, so I can take it apart without actually having to spend the hundreds of dollars and show you guys what's inside, and what it really does. So basically, this was to show people you can do this at home if you want to. It really doesn't take much. Everything was basically either plugged in really quick or twist it. I just twisted the wires together, put a little electrical tape on it, boom, it's done. The longest part was figuring out how everything would go and where it would go. So there's a long-winded answer to your question. I hope you enjoyed that. I did. That's the first time I ever ran off camera. So, all right, what else we got? Christine, have you been keeping up with the Sam and Colby drama? I was wondering if this was going to come up. So I saw it. I saw when it, I guess, I didn't know when it first broke because I saw the Conjuring videos. I used to watch them, Sam and Colby, when they did the, when they were trespassing, when they were going to all the abandoned stuff. I used to watch them, and then they got arrested. And then it was like, all right, well, they switched over to paranormal stuff, going to haunted locations. And it just got boring, honestly. So I stopped watching them. And then I heard about the Conjuring House, and I was like, oh, Jesus, everyone's going to the Conjuring House. There's nothing fucking there. But then I got, somebody called me, a friend of mine called me, and or sent me a text and let me know something was going on. And then I started looking into it. And honestly, I don't see anything paranormal going on. I've seen that trick before. I've talked to other magicians who know there's several ways to do it. One, which is a more natural way, I think, is just cracking the joints, which is what the Fox sisters did. And it was strange that the couple was comparing themselves with the Fox sisters, or bringing it up. I don't know if they're comparing themselves or if other people are. And I think that's the wrong thing to do, because the Fox sisters admitted that they were making shit up. So that's probably not someone to try to live up to. And I don't think there's other methods too. There's a mechanical method, which I'm working on one of those. It's a well-known thing in magic, where you have a small transmitter, which is hidden somewhere on you, usually within your sock. And this is something I got off of Dustin Dean, a friend of mine and a magician, mentalist. You put the trigger button in your sock, and it uses RF or Bluetooth, usually RF, to a little trigger. It's a little plunger solenoid that charges, and the magnet forces it to come out, and it knocks. So I have one of those that I'm building. I got all the parts for it, and I'm building it. And it's in a little case. I don't have it here with me. It's in my workshop at home. But that can work. And I guess my biggest pet peeve with this, is it pet peeve? I don't know. My biggest issue with this is that this was presented as real. This is presented as a service to help people, connect with their families and something, as something real and serious. But the testing that was done was by two guys, Sam and Colby, who are not investigators. They're not investigators. They're not magicians. They're not qualified to do this. They were actually just taking comments from their viewers on what they should do. And some of the things that they asked to do, if you watch the whole video, I watched the full video when they went back to do some testing. And some of the things they asked to do, Cody refused to do. He didn't want to do it. Cody also has a tell. He definitely has a poker tell, which if you watch that long full-length video, you'll actually see he has a tell. And I just did it for you. So I think he's doing it. That's my honest opinion. I think he's doing it. And I don't think it's honest. Would love to see that when you get built. You will. Don't worry. I'm gonna do like a little video on it once I get it together. This is the first time I'm building something like that, so I don't know how it's gonna work. So I'm gonna test it first. Actually, I'll probably film as I'm testing to see if it does any good, and then we'll go from there. I can't do the joint cracking. It just I guess I'm just too fat. I don't know. I can't do it, but I have seen people that can do it. I would suggest. Back to my biggest issue is that they put it out there as something that was serious and that was real and that they can really do it, and there's no doubt about it. And like their reaction video, there was a lot of comments they made that were very like, yeah, we know this real. Especially, I got to tell you, I'm not a big fan of Cody. I've already written an article about him when he put out the cat balls and tried to pass them off as ghost hunting tools. So I already have a bitter kind of view of him. And because he has a history of doing this, because that video from 11 years ago, which was from 11 years ago when he did the same exact technique, except by himself, that's telling. And the kind of look that he gave the camera when he was doing his reaction video kind of thing, I didn't believe him at all. So I would say, hey, you know what? A good first test is to have someone hold his ankles and see if it happens. But I don't think they're going to allow that. And that's my big pet peeve, is that they're going to claim that it's real, it's serious and it's real, but they're not going to let real testers test it. They're not going to let real scientists or skeptics or scientific skeptics actually test it to see if it's real. But if you want, hey, I got connections. There's a $500,000 up for grabs. The CFIIG has their $500,000 challenge. I will certainly recommend you if I can properly test you and you can get through it, get through me. I will help you get out there and take the test and win $500,000. And you don't have to keep it, which is another thing. They said they weren't doing it for money, but I mean, that the whole tour thing and the merchandise and all that stuff, I don't know about that. But those are my thoughts. And that's pretty much all. I think the whole thing is kind of silly. And predictable. Once it got out and everyone started commenting, I knew they were going to refuse testing or proper testing. And that's a predictable outcome. And I don't think they're going to let any kind of good, solid testing be done. So I hope that answered your question. Wow, that was a good one. I love these questions. These are good. All right, what else we got? Daniel Reed, what's up, buddy? What mischief have you been up to as of late? Well, what have I done? Oh, my latest article that came out was about a psychic that claimed to help with a kidnapping case. And I found that they did not. So there was recently, in the last few months, over in Albany, New York, which is only about, I think that's about 2 hours, 2.5 hours that way. There was a 9-year-old girl that was kidnapped from a campground, and they locked down the campground. Lots of people came in. I mean, the governor was there. They brought in, I think they had something like 500 people. I don't remember the numbers, but they had a whole bunch of people, FBI, local police, rangers, volunteers from all over looking for this little girl. and they found the little girl. They found her safe and sound. She was safe. They rescued her from the kidnapper's house because the kidnapper was an idiot. Not only a bad person, but a freaking idiot, because he left a ransom note in the family's mailbox and left this fingerprint. They found the fingerprint. He had a previous DUI, and they were able to find him. They descended on the house and found the girl hiding in a cupboard. But she was safe, unhurt, and returned to her family. So good, happy ending. I'm very happy that it turned out that way, because we all know most of the time they don't. They don't turn out that way. So that's good. But the bad part is that the local news station, Channel 13, ran a piece where they claimed that a psychic helped with the kidnapping case. And they gave the name of a local psychic and said that she helped. She gave them information that led to the rescuing of the kid. And I was like, what? Let me check on this. So I actually called the state police. The actual, oh my God, I was so glad when they found her. Me too. But I remember that. Didn't he just get out of prison? I don't think he just got out of prison. I don't know. I actually don't know that. So I'm not going to answer that anymore because I don't want to misspeak. But they ran this piece and they really made it sound like the psychic was involved and gave some secret information. And they even, when they interviewed the psychic, she made it seem like, oh, I can't tell you exactly what it is because there's other things that are happening. So I can't tell you what I told them. So I called the police. I said, hey, I talked to somebody. I actually talked to several people, and they finally got me to someone, the chief information officer, who was really nice. She was aware of the case. She knew exactly what I was talking about. And she told me straight up that as far as she knew, that psychic had nothing to do with it. She didn't give any information that helped the case at all. So I hate that, because shit like that, man, it's capitalizing and it's exploiting the 9-year-old girl that went through this traumatic experience. It's exploiting her and her family so that the psychic can sell out some bullshit psychic shows. So I really freaking hate that. It really pisses me off, if you can't tell. And I did try to contact the person that the journalist that did the news segment, and I also contacted his manager. And I know that at least 2 other people have seen the article, and they've reached out to that news station. Same thing. The journalist that did the segment and the manager, and said, hey, you need to fix this because this is bullshit. Because you lost trust in your audience because like you promoted this bullshit story. If psychics could actually help, there'd be less missing people and unsolved murders. I agree. All this, there's so many kids. If you look on the missing children databases and see how many thousands of kids are still missing and go missing every year, it just, oh my God. Thoughts and prayers. Oh my God. Please don't get me started on that. Do not get me started on that. Thoughts and prayers. You know what? I know there's an underlining kind of meaning because people sometimes believe that helps, but thoughts and prayers is really a selfish act because it doesn't do anything except make the person saying it feel better because they feel like they're doing something instead of getting out there. If you want to help, donate food to the family. If you want to help, get out on a search party. Sign up for the search party. Go out and look for the missing kids. Go out and look for the missing person. If you want to help, do something like that. Thoughts and prayers, don't do shit. And that's all I got to say about that. I'm going to get pissed off. Whew. Take a breather. Okay. What we got next, Tim? Tammy, hello. If there was a real ghost in your presence and you are using a thermal camera to see it, what color would it be? I don't know. You see, this is actually good. So a thermal camera, when you use it, you can change the scale. So the color scale that's on the side, that appears on the side, it's like a bar that goes up and down, that will change. You can either change it manually, or it'll change automatically depending on how wide of a scene it's looking at. So it could be a graph that, what side am I going on? This side. It could be from like maybe 90 degrees to 70 degrees, or it could be like 80 to 85, but it's stretched out. So you always have to look at that. That means, I mean, white, I think, is usually the hottest, but that doesn't mean it's like it's burning hot. That could be 70 degrees, depending on the scale. So I don't know exactly what color it would be, because again, like 85 degrees or 90 degrees could be different colors. It could be white, yellow, red, orange, pink, blue. Who knows? So I don't know what color it would be. And I always recommend that if you're going to use a thermal camera, first, make sure you don't crop out the scale, because people do that. I have seen, I'm going to call them ghost hunters, because I don't believe everyone is an investigator. I've seen ghost hunters use this scale and they crop out this. Wait, let me back up. I've seen ghost hunters use thermal cameras, but then when they upload the video, they crop out the scale so you can't see it, which is that's dirty. That's pretty dirty. And then I also recommend that you attach a visible light camera next to that, like right next to it, so you get the same view. Because when you're looking at the color, what is that? The color scale and the color view, it can be confusing to see what things are. You might not be able to understand what is a piece of furniture, or what is like a cabinet, what is a mirror. You can't understand what you're looking at. What is the temperature of ghosts? I have no idea, because I don't think, well, first, I don't think ghosts exist. And second, I don't know. I that is an unanswerable question at this time, because I don't have enough data. So I have to leave it at that and move on to the next question. I hope I answered your question enough. Victoria, Tori, is static electricity a useful measurement in investigating? So there's devices out there like static domes. I have like the steampunk version of a static detector, and they always like to use the fancy term, the triboelectric. It just means static electricity. It's just a fancy term. But basically, I don't think it's reliable, because, I mean, if you're in a cold, dry environment and you're bundled up, guess what you're going to do? You're going to make static electricity. You're going to do it, and you're going to set it off. The first interaction I had with one of those devices, it was in a library, and we were in the attic of the library, and it was a paranormal event going on, and I was upstairs in this attic with a bunch of ghost hunters, and they put one of these on a table, and we had a tablecloth on the table, because that's where it goes. But one of these devices was in the center, and I'm looking at it and I'm playing, and I'm kind of like, I'm like this on the table, and I put my arms down and move towards it. And my arms, which are in a hoodie, goes across the tablecloth, and the thing lights up. And I was like, oh. And at first I didn't realize it was me until I did it a couple more times. And I was like, oh, look, I can do it at will. Oh, and I can be like a few feet back and make it happen. Oh, look at this. So yeah, you're going to create static. And there's also the problem is that the static domes, the static gadgets, they have a reset function. So once you get it to go off by some kind of static charge, because it's actually a little solenoid. I'm not going to run and get it, but I do have them. It's a very tiny little like a PF something. It's a little thing. I bought like 10 of them for $1, because they're really cheap. I forget exactly what it is, but there's a silicon wafer in the middle, and when static electricity hits it, it makes it Oh, there it is. Bob Christopher. Hey, Bob. Bob was part of my first experience with these. He was nice enough, the MPF 102. Thank you, Bob. Bob helped me understand these because Bob was making these. He still makes them, I think. But he was nice enough to send me one that I could play with. And I tore it apart. I don't think he realized that I was going to take it apart, but I did so I could figure out what was inside. But there was another one because another guy, we won't mention his name, JJ, that had one out and I got a hold of it. And he was all pissed off because I opened it up and showed everyone, which is funny. That shows you like the light and dark. Like Bob was really cool with it. When I took it apart, when I asked him questions, he's always been cool with that. But this other guy, JJ, was pissed off, called me, cursed me out, like dropped 57,000 F-bombs at me on the phone because I took apart his gadget and I posted a picture of it. But I don't think it's a reliable tool, overall, because it picks up static. If you don't have any controls in the area, you don't know where it's coming from, and it's most likely coming from you, or somebody else on your team, or somebody that walks by, or there could be some other reason for it. So, without controls to figure out, okay, where's it coming from? It's random data that you can't use. You really can't use because you don't know the source and you haven't controlled for any sources. So I wouldn't actually use them. I do have a few of them. Like I said, I have like 2 or 3 of them. I have 2 or 3 of the devices that are built with them. And then I also have a pack of the MPF 102s. Because I did make one. Actually, I did make one. Where is it? Oh, it's still out there. A buddy of mine actually made 3D printed ghosts, and he put all the electronics and the board inside of it with a battery and did everything for me. So it did the same thing. You could make a little ghost like light up when there was static electricity. It was really cool. That's another reason JJ got pissed off at me. Because I was going around doing a raffle at a conference and saying, look, it does the same thing as his thing. His Paranologies piece of shit thing does. That was so funny. Anyway, all right. I made one based on Kenny's article, and yeah, that thing goes off just about it. Thank you, Tom. Yeah. Oh, cool. I'm glad you made one. That's cool. Hey, you know what? Send me a picture of that if you can. I would like to post that. Just a little blurb saying, look, this is based off the article I wrote. He wrote one and got the same results. Let me know like what you think of it. And I'll include that. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. I like that. There's lots of people. Jim, Tom, Bob, Steve. All right. What's up next, Tim? What do we got? We got like 15 minutes. Redman. Ooh, good one. Why do so many paranormal investigators do podcasts with like-minded guests, talk about all the evidence they gather, never get to sharing their evidence on their podcast? Asking for a friend. So why do so many paranormal investigators do podcasts with like-minded guests? I mean, I'm, for the most part, let's see, podcasts. I'm always writing these down just in case it goes away and I can... Okay, like-minded guest. So, I mean, I pretty much do the same thing, but not all the time. I have had a psychic on. I've had a couple ghost hunters. I mean, Jason Hawes, who was in here earlier, he's been on the show a couple times. I actually did one show live from his house because we were hanging out for a week. So I don't mind having someone else with a different opinion. And I think for me, and I'm just speaking from my perspective, is that I want someone that's going to have a good conversation. I'm not going to have someone that's going to come on and just be pissed off and constantly going like, explain this, skeptic, explain this, and moving the goalpost all the time. I don't see any use for that. And so if we flip that and we talk about the ghost hunters that do a podcast and they talk about all the evidence they gather, but they don't share that evidence. So I don't know too many. I don't listen to paranormal podcasts. I don't really listen to them unless I have to, unless it has something to do with what I'm working on. But the ones that I have done, if they have like audio, they usually play it during the show, or if it's like a vlog or a streaming thing like this, they usually put the pictures up so you can look at it, which is good. I like that. I don't think they're going to have like someone like me on, although some do. I'll get to that in a second. I don't think they're going to have somebody like me because they want to talk about it with like-minded people and they just want to have a good jam session. They want to talk about it and how great it is and this and that. They don't want any doubt, which is okay. I mean, it's not okay with me, but it's their podcast. They can do what they want. But with someone like me, there have been podcasts where it's all ghost hunters and they still ask me to come on, which is great. I love that because there's good interaction. We engage with each other. We have good discussions. We talk. I might bring up stuff that they didn't realize. They may bring in new information that they didn't originally share. So I hope, I don't know if that answered your question. Asking for a friend and gather. I mean, are you doing this? I don't know. The asking for a friend is like, are you like talking about evidence and then you don't share it? I don't know. Victoria, thank you for the epic video binge. I've been on the last 3 days. I love Three Tortured Souls. Yes, that's great. You are welcome. We are here to entertain, educate, and intoxicate. That's what we do. Make sure everyone thanks Tim, who's working in the background, because he's doing a great job with getting all the questions up and keeping this discussion going. This is really good. All right. Oh, and he also said, what'd he say? Like-minded guests is an easy podcast. Need alternative point of views that to be an educational or productive. Exactly. I think that's a great quote, Tim, because it's hard to get that controversy and you don't want to look silly. I just did a podcast with somebody. Hold on. I did a podcast. Let me get the name right because I don't want to screw up the name. Because this guy does a podcast and he doesn't use his real name, and I understand why, because he doesn't. It's Crow of Judas. Crow of Judas, and he wears a mask that has EL lighting on it. It looks pretty cool. But I just did a show with him, and we were talking about like the DR60 recording device and how shitty it is. And I stand by that. But we did a whole episode like that, and it actually grew. And it was really good. We had a good conversation, and he brought up some things, and I brought up some things, and we actually disagreed on a few things, but then talked it out, which was really good. And that's the kind of thing we need. I think that's the kind of thing we promote, and I try to promote on here, and then me, Tim, and Dave, we promote that on Three Tortured Souls all the time. Like, let's try to work together. Let's talk. Let's discuss. Let's not fight so much unless, you're an asshole. Then we're going to fight, But otherwise, try to be nice. Three Tortured Souls are yet to provide me with substances for intoxication. What? There's rum. Hello. And vodka for other people. There's whiskey. I don't do that. All right. What else we got? I think we got one more or maybe something, and we're going to go to break. Serafina. Again, am I saying that right? I hope I am. Let me know if I'm going to keep watching the comments. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can actually see the comments. Since you were showing us porn stick, what are your thoughts? Somebody asked earlier, before I get to this, keep this on screen, but somebody asked what I named it, and I went simple. There you go. I kept it simple. Wrote a little thing about how it's ghost hunting gadgets, and you don't need to spend the tons of money on something. So let me get to this. Porn on a stick. What are your thoughts on other motion activated devices? Example, the motion activated music box, which retails for $400. Interesting concept, but not much explanation on how sensitive or how it truly works. So I'm not exactly sure. I think I've seen them, and it has like the mechanical music box on top. I think that's what you're talking about. I don't know why I'm doing this right in front of my face. But like the old music box kind of thing, so where it has the drum and it plays on that. So I've seen them, and I think everyone is pretty much using the same sensor. And there's a couple things I want to talk about with this. And I think if Bob's still in the room, I have something to talk about with you. But basically, it's a PIR sensor, so passive infrared. Bob is not here. Nope. So it's a passive infrared sensor, and that's what's right here. I don't have. Let me see. Come on, focus. Daniel-san. All right, it's not going to focus, but you can almost see that there's a beehive kind of a hexagon pattern there. I hope you can see that. There we go. That's better. And basically what that does is when it looks at the environment, the beehive pattern, the hexagon pattern, it has actual grooves in it, and it helps spread the visible light. So it's not, well, the infrared light. It's looking at the infrared heat that's coming off of all the objects in the area. But the grooves in the hexagon allow it to see a wider field of view. It lets you see a lot. And it's looking for a difference in temperature. It's not looking for, like, if something got cold. Well, technically, it is. It's looking for a difference in temperature because everything gives off heat. Looking for the infrared, that's the infrared energy. And I said that correctly, so you don't have to drink, but you can if you want to. It's looking for the infrared energy that's coming off of all the objects because everything gives off some kind of heat. Even if it's an ice cube, it's giving off heat, a certain amount of heat. So when something moves across the screen, this sensor is looking at it and saying, all right, everything is this temperature, got it. So if something comes across as a different temperature, it's going to see that difference. There's actually two slits in behind this dome. There's two slits that allow light to come in, the infrared light. And when the infrared light of different temperature comes in one slit and then hits the other slit, it says, all right, there's a change. Something changed here, and it triggers the alarm. That's how I understand it working. And I've been going crazy with this last couple of days researching it so I could figure out what I'm talking about here. So basically that's what it's doing. It doesn't matter if it's not sensing cold, it's sensing heat, either more heat or less heat. It's the difference in heat. That's what it's sensing. So that's basically how it works. And I think that's what's on these music boxes and what's on these and what's on so many other devices that are out there because these are cheap. Like these, I got 3 of these for $16. And these came with the jacks. I think they're the 3.5 jacks. So I plugged it into a battery pack, and the other end I plugged into a light strip, so I didn't have to do any wiring. Other ones you can get for much cheaper because then you do all the connections yourself, which I can do, but it was just easier to do it this way. Plus, the one that's on this is the one that I saw in the original one, so I wanted to get the original one to work with it. So I think I explained that right. I'm pretty sure because there's so much information that's rattling around my head right now. But that's how it sees the environment. I even have the $10 one, which is on the smaller stick. I have that on a doll. I actually have it, and I'll get it during the break. I'll get it and bring it in. But it's actually sitting out in the hallway, and it's propped up. So when people walk in the hallway past my office, the dress lights up. And it's really cool. I haven't wired in an alarm to that yet because honestly, the alarm is annoying. That's annoying. I don't like that. So I didn't put an alarm on it, but it just lights up. It's really cool. I mean, and I make a point in my video saying, like, if you think you're dealing with a little girl ghost, which is a very common claim, is it going to want to play with a doll or a sex toy glow stick? It's going to want to play with a doll. So I put it in the doll and I thought it was much better. So there you go, Bob. Don't steal my idea. I'm watching you. Thank you. That was extremely informative. I wasn't sure if shadow sensing actual motion etc. This was great. Yeah, this most of these things use the same sensor. I don't know. I know the REM pods use some kind of shadow sensor. I have not played with that yet because I don't have one. So if anyone has like one of those REM pods with that feature and they're not using it anymore, contact me if you want to donate it, because I can play with it and figure out what it's using, and then take it apart to see what it's actually using and then have a better idea. Yeah, I personally prefer the sex stick. Yes, Tiffany, we all know. Mm. All right, so we are. Oh, what do we got? Can you give your opinion on apps that ghost hunters use for residential investigations? Apps like necrophiliac. What? Wait, I know what that word means. What the hell? On their phones or tablets. I don't like these apps, and I don't think they even work, but some say otherwise. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's save this question for after the break. I'm going to go to break right now. I'm going to run out, get the doll, and then when we come back, I'll start off with that question. Again, if you guys have questions, this is a great time to do it. I'm going to break for about 4 minutes or so I can use the little boys' room. I'm going to put the banner up there. So, yeah, if you have questions, if you have topics, and again, if anyone has a question and you would like to come on and join me here for a few minutes and ask your question and then go for it, go have us discuss it. Necrophonics. Okay, that's better. I was like, what kind of apps are you into? If you want to come on the show and join me for a few minutes, I will send you this little magic trick and a couple stickers and whatever else I can steal from the office here. But all right, so let me go to break, and then I'll be back in how long? 4 minutes and 11 seconds from now. All right. Oh man, the music, man. I get jamming. No, 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 no. I'm just looking at messages. Okay. So we are back and we got the question right up on screen. Good job, Tim. I need to give you a raise. I do. Somehow. I should start paying you. But anyway, all right, Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. Can you give your opinion on apps that ghost hunters use for residential investigations? Apps like the you did create necro. No, it was a different one. Necrophonics on their phones or tablets. I don't like these apps, and I don't think they even work. But some say they do. They don't. Honestly, they don't. They are for entertainment. Most of them actually do say that. They when you go on the either on the App Store and you look down at the fine print, it usually says for entertainment. But some of them don't. Some of them don't say for entertainment, and they leave it at that. But again, it comes back to the basic idea that if you don't know what something is or what it's composed of or how it affects the environment, then you cannot have something that detects it. You can have ideas, but you're just throwing lawn darts because you don't have any controls on the experiments. You don't have any idea what you're doing. You're just throwing lawn darts and seeing what happens. If it hits somebody's foot or if it gets in the ring. You're like, I don't know. It's like throwing lawn darts over a wall and not knowing if it went into the ring or somebody else. And that's it. You just don't know, and you're just going to make a guess. So these apps, they're entertaining for some people, but there's the Ghost Radar. That's just silly. That's just a random generator that just puts up these spots. It doesn't do anything. The Necro one, I'm not sure what that is. Let's look that up. Let's see if we can look that up. Necro. Let me see what my Necro. What was the? Let me see. Where's the name? Necrophonics. That just sounds dirty anyway. Necrophonics. Apps. Let's see. What is this? Start Echo. Necrophonics ITC app used for spirit communication. Let's share the screen so you guys can see this too. Share window. This one. There we go. All right. Boom. Let's change my thing to get that off. That's what I'm looking at. About this app. Audio has been mastered in a way to bring out various sound properties. Using Pro Tools, I was able to enhance high, mid, and low range frequencies. I also applied some blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Ratings. There's no disclaimer. How do you see the rest of the top paid lifestyle? How much is it? You got to pay for this? Oh, $10. Fuck that. Echo, reverb, white noise, sound bank, DR60. What? Right there. No. No. Denied, fully 100% gone. Forget it. The DR60 is a total piece of crap. And it just, no, that just disqualified it just for that. It doesn't say data safety. Doesn't give me the rest of the details. What is this? Oh, data safety. No, data safety. I don't know why I can't say safety about this app. Okay. Oh, here we go. 8 sound banks. The audio has been mastered in a way to bring out various sound properties. I also used other filters to create unique sound characteristics to help layer the audio. So, everything's manipulated already. That's what I'm reading here. Everything is already manipulated. And this is just ridiculous. 100,000 downloads? Shit. I'm in the wrong business, man. I got to start trying to con people. Maybe I'll sell my my sex toy glow stick. What is a DR60? It is a really bad audio recorder. It's one of the first digital audio recorders put out by Panasonic in 1987, I think. And it's horrible. It's horrible. But people still use it today because they think the very bad, distorted and corrupted files that it gets are communication between spirits and us. and people pay thousands of dollars for that, and it's just I don't understand why. It's a waste. But the rest of this, let's see, the audio itself is made up of phonemes. How do you say that? I'm not even trying anymore. Partial words, reverse audio, foreign languages, and other parts of this is a complete waste of money. If anyone paid $10 for this, other than a novelty, if they thought it was serious, they should not be doing this hobby. They just shouldn't, because they obviously didn't read this. They obviously didn't understand it. And it's just oh my God, this is a waste of time. The famous DR60 recorder that is known as the Holy Grail of repeat recorders. Oh, right there. That tells you this is a con. This is such a scam. But overall, to answer your question, because I ramble on a lot. To answer your question, I don't use apps. I mean, I personally don't use apps. I think apps are for entertainment. They are novelty items. They are not. I mean, there's a few out there, but they're on the science side. And you can probably talk to Dave Schumacher, who does Three Tortured Souls with us, and he'll have a better idea of which ones that can be used. Because I think like the citizen science project that he's involved in, it works off an app of your phone, I believe. And Tim, I think you might know a little bit better with that, because I think you were involved a little bit more than I was with that. So correct me if I'm wrong. But otherwise, ghost hunting phone apps, no. It's not worth your time or your money. I wouldn't even bother with it, because they're going to generate things to keep you interested, that you keep using it, so the advertisements still pop up on them if they're free, or that you pay $10. Oh my God, what $100,000, 100,000 downloads. Like, what the hell? Oh, that makes me sick. Anyway, good question. I hope I answered your question. And we'll move on if we have more. Yeah, we do. Victoria. Tori. I got to call you Tori. And again, anybody want to come on? Is everyone shy? Does no one want to come on and talk to me? Especially the new people. Come on, talk to me. Question. Are there any journal papers that discuss the dual slit experiment and how it might apply to paranormal research? Wow. As far as I know, the answer is no. To your specific question, what you're talking about. I know there's plenty out there about the double slit or the dual slit experiment, but as far as I know, nothing that relates to the paranormal, because it's just not. I don't think it's something that people that are going to publish academic papers on are going to get involved in, to be honest. And if you do see pieces out there on both of these topics, I would not say that it's a legit paper. I would say it's probably just someone's opinion, and probably not someone that's qualified to talk about it. As far as I know, I could be wrong, but as far as I know, there is nothing out there. Let's see. What does that say? Wait, pause. Journal articles from doctors about NDEs. So there's papers on that, yes, but not for the dual slit. So I don't know if that's a different conversation that I'm kind of eavesdropping on. I don't know. All right. So what do we got next? We got anything else? We do. We do have a few more. How is Tim? Tim is doing good. It's nice. Tim's a good guy. He came on. We get to talk. We get to catch up before the show. He comes on. I'd be lost without Tim. I'm doing great. Thank you. Tim is a great guy. Tim, let me, there we go. Tim needs to come up and visit me. We have a guest room. So Tim, you need to come up and visit for a few days, hang out, be like, what's up? See the office, be an in-studio guest. Oh, before we move on, I don't know if we have any other questions, but before we move on, here's the doll I was talking about. She's not working quite as good because she's been on all week, and it's battery operated. So I've had it on all week, but basically that's what happens. She lights up like that. The sensor is right in the middle there. And usually it'll go off in like 30 seconds. And then when people walk by, the dress lights up. So, I mean, this I think would be much cooler to bring than the sex toy. Basically, I mean, this is definitely much brighter and has the alarm. But I think this would be cooler. If I was under the belief that ghosts were real and that maybe there's a child's ghost there. um that totally threw me off. If I was under the belief that ghosts were real and that there were like kid ghosts, not goats, ghosts where I was, I would definitely want to put this out instead. And say, you know, point it towards a wall and just say, hey, you know, you want to play with the doll and see if it lights up. But I was going to creep it up because I don't know. Some of you know that I do make creepy dolls. Like I buy them at yard sales and stuff. And then I creep them up with like, you know, white skin, sunken eyes, blood all over, maybe an axe or a knife or something. And I make them look really freaky. And my wife takes them and then she sells them at craft shows or paranormal shows. And I was going to do it to this one. And she's like, no, let's just keep it as a regular doll and just keep the motion sensor thing in it, you know, and have fun with it. So I might make one anyway, because they're, like I said, it's only $10 for the kit. Yeah, we'll play. We'll see. All right. I said I would come on. You didn't post like, oh shit. Well, you know what? Damn, I got to do that. I should. You know what? I have not been paying attention. So I'm not paying attention that if somebody wants to come on. All right. So one person at a time. I'm posting the link now. And if Bob comes on, Bob's first. So if you pop in, we'll see. Bob will be first. And I have 4. I could stretch it to 5 though. So if 4 other people want to come on. Jim. How you doing, Jim? That's a cool profile picture. I like that. Do you mention that if CFI has prize money up for grabs, is that for all forms of paranormal stuff, such as psychic and medium powers? So, hold on, damn it, Bob. I'll be right with you. So basically, the CFIIG, which is the Center for Inquiry Investigations Group, is based in Los Angeles, California. It's run by Jim Underdown, and they have had a paranormal challenge going on for a number of years. And it grew. I think it was like 5,000 and it kept growing. Now it's up to $500,000. And this is for anyone that can prove that they have some kind of paranormal abilities. Now, basically, this is the Cliff Notes version of what happens, is that you have to fill out an application. So you go to the CFIIG.org, I believe, website. You find the application, you fill it out, you get into the queue. So they do have, I think they test or they have over 150 applicants a year. So be patient. So when you get in the queue, they'll look it over, they'll contact you, and you start the process of coming to an agreement on test protocols. So they ask you questions, and they're very polite. They're very nice. I had the opportunity to assist with them or to join them on a test in Las Vegas in October. So it was really nice to see them in action. Very nice, very professional, very polite. So they meet with you, they talk with you, they go back and forth with emails or whatever to work out protocols. What can you do? What can you do exactly? They want to know details, as much details as possible. And then they come up with the testing protocols. And you both have to agree on the testing protocols before the preliminary test. So there's 2 tests. There's a preliminary where you actually you have testing conditions. You come in and you have to get there. You have to get to LA on your own dime in order to do this. So you do that. You perform this test and you demonstrate what you think you can do. And if you pass that test, then you go on to a formal test. The preliminary test is for them to see it in action, because maybe there's some details that you don't mention, not being deceptive, but you're just, maybe it didn't seem important to you, but maybe there's some details that they see. So they want to see it first. Preliminary test is done. If you pass that, you go on to the formal test, which is a little bit more strict. And then if you pass that, they give you a check for $500,000. Now, be warned that no one has passed the preliminary tests. And as far as being fair, I think they're completely fair. Again, I had the opportunity to be there in person and watch something to unfold and be a part of it. And it was just really amazing to see how professional they were about this. So it's up for grabs if people think that they are psychic, if they're mediums, if they can douse, they do dowsing rods or pendulums or something like that, or if they have telepathy or psychokinetic powers or something like that. Whatever this superpower is that you think you have to describe it so you can apply for the challenge. So there you go. In a nutshell, hopefully that takes care of it. So I got a first guest. We're gonna have, damn it, Bob. I need.
What's going on, Kenny?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm doing so good. So good. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too. It's been too long.
What can I do for you?
So, I'd like to talk a little bit about TikTok today. So,
talk to me.
You know my TikTok. We're friends on TikTok. It's supposed to be like an education channel, but the algorithms I've been getting lately have been out of this world. I've been getting things like deep fakes, rock doors. I don't know if you've seen that. Giants. And this pastor by the name of Cliff Neckley. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that quite correctly, but the video I tagged you in that you commented on today was the Bigfoot video, which I found hilarious, which is why I tagged you and John in it.
Okay.
So I've been seeing a lot of these, and I think it's all the same person because it seems like it's all the same costume. But that video it was just hilarious.
So the video he's talking about, it's in the woods, because it's Bigfoot. And it says, like, I think the title, let me look it up. Hold on. We can play it. We should be able to play it. I have to find it. Give me a second here. TikTok. Come on. There we go. And find my. All right. Now I got to find where I was mentions. Oh, there's mentions. And it's so tiny on my computer. That's what she said.
The TikTok channel is called Squatch Watchers.
Squatch Walker. All right. So here we go. There's that. All right. I can share this video. We will share this with everyone. Nope, that's the wrong one. I hate when I push the wrong button. But it happens. Not a big deal. All right. Here we go. We're going to make this full screen. We're going to take the sound off and we're going to hit boom. This is what gets me. Bigfoot shows face on trail cam at crime scene and destroys the area with tree limbs. I guess this is Bigfoot.
Yep.
And it really doesn't show its face.
Nope.
And it looks like it's wearing a wristwatch. Did you see that? Look at that. Wait. We're going back. We're going back here. We're get. Okay. All right. You ready? Watch for the cursor. My little hand. Wait. Here it comes. He starts dragging this thing out. Right there.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, it comes up. There, look. He's got a wristwatch on.
That's hilarious.
Oh man. I mean, this is everything about this. Damn right. Everything about this screams staged.
Oh yeah.
From right away, the camera that's on a tripod.
Right.
It's not moving at all. It doesn't go anywhere. So this was already set up too. There's no setup time. Like when we started right from the beginning, it's already set up. So this is already set up on a tripod, looking right at him. Oh, it's a trail camera. So point it right at it. So all right. I don't. And the fact that he stays behind the tree here
the entire time.
The entire time. Like, why?
And I think I remember seeing a comment saying that no human could pick up that tree branch. It's actually not that hard, you know.
It's not hard at
I'm
all.
not a very muscular person. I could pick up something like that.
One of my the first time I went on a Bigfoot hunt. Let me get rid of this now. I went out to, it was Western Pennsylvania. I went out there with Bob Christopher, that was in the chat room. We went out and I got there kind of late. I was the last one to get there and sat down with this guy. And he was like total Bigfooter, totally into it. And talking about how when you see a tree limb so you have a tree here and another tree that fell over and it's propped on that tree. He kept claiming that Bigfoot does that. And that's like a marker for him. And I argued saying anyone can lift them. They're usually dead trees and it doesn't take much. He kept arguing, no, absolutely not. They're too heavy. They're like 100 or so pounds. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? So we went trekking into the woods and the first one we saw, we're talking like 50, 60 feet long. Went over to it, picked it up, one hand, went like this. I'm like,
right.
This is nothing. Like, this is what happens. It's a dead tree.
Right.
There's nothing to it. So like that, I mean, the tree obviously was already down. I don't know what was going on. I don't know. I don't even know if this is actually a crime scene. You know, because I don't.
Right. You could very easily buy that tape.
Do not enter. Warning, do not enter. It doesn't say police line. It doesn't say crime scene. This is like, this is tape that you can buy yourself.
But even the police line tape you can buy at certain stores or on Amazon. So it's not hard to, put that whole scene together.
Yeah. And it's only, 2 strands? And this might be something that maybe somebody, off to the left of the camera scene, maybe they're doing something. Maybe they're clearing the land and they put that up because they piled all that shit up. And it's like, hey, you know what? Let's make a Bigfoot video.
Right.
So there you I don't see any legitimacy to this. I think it's silly. And it's the kind of thing that you will see on TikTok.
Right.
Or any kind of Bigfoot. I really wish they would stop when you see, I guess, channels that are devoted to a topic like Bigfoot. Don't put this video up and then comment at the end like the guy does. Oh, what are your thoughts on this? Fucking analyze it. Say like, this is what I see that's wrong with it.
Exactly.
But we don't see that a lot. I mean,
no.
Some people do, but we don't see that a lot.
No, we don't.
So,
but, Tom asked in the comments about the rock doors. So I'll describe that real quickly. So there's been a couple of videos that I've seen where people are out in nature and it's either just right on the rock face where there's they can open like the front of a rock and it leads into a doorway. And there's one that's connected video where it's this huge rock face. And the door, the rock face just keeps opening and closing and opening and closing. I'm like, that's a deep fake. And you can see it's a deep fake. You can see that it's animated.
Okay.
But people are trying to pass it off as real. And people in the comment section, oh my gosh. They can't tell that something is a deep fake. They can't. There's no critical thinking that's going on in any of these comments. And when I try to argue with, I don't want to say argue because I don't argue with these folks. I really don't. When I try to provide evidence, they're just like, oh no, you're wrong about this, and it's just it's pointless in some cases.
So I think some of the issue here is there's a lot of inexperience.
Yeah.
And like for me, some of my daily routine is constantly look like there's a good YouTube channel that I watch all the time called Corridor Crew. And they are special effects. It's a special effects company, and
Okay.
the people that run it or work there are really cool. They create all kinds of VFX, but they're experts in this. And they sit down. One of their things is they review good and bad CGI, or they review. They've recently been doing like Bigfoot and alien UFO things and ghosts, but they look for visual effects, but they also look for practical effects. Um, and it's I haven't seen these rock doors, so send me a video because I'd like to see one of them. But
Okay.
basically, like what they do and other channels like it, they break it down and they tell you how they would do it. And for some of them, they review a lot of movies. So they already know the behind the scenes stuff, or they have people that worked on the visual effects from the certain movies and they tell you how it was done.
Okay.
And it gets you that experience, that practice. So I start seeing all these little details that I'm getting used to because I'm watching these tutorial videos or instructional videos or review videos over and over again. So for me, I I see it a lot. So as soon as I see like an animation, I'm like, no, Uncanny Valley. That's screaming at me. There's something that doesn't fit. The shadows don't look right. The lighting,
Right.
angles. It doesn't go into the rock. There's no hinges. Where are the fucking hinges?
Right. The hinges. That's the major one. The hinges. Where's the hinges?
Where are the hinges? It's got to have a hinge.
Yes. But yeah, the Tom Flock has a comment here saying it looks like they straight up use clips from that movie called the Descent.
Okay.
So it could be. I haven't seen that movie, but yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. We got to look at the details. If someone sends me a video to review or analyze, it has to be a good quality video. If you send me something, which this is typical of Bigfoot videos, like the one that we watched on TikTok, it's such poor shit quality
Yes.
that it's like looking at a TV set from the 1980s.
Right.
Like you don't see good resolution. I don't get it. My phone does 4K. Newer phones do 8K. You can still do high definition or ultra high definition with most of your phones, and we're still getting trail cam footage of just shit. Which trail cams I don't like anyway, because they're just
you've mentioned
always
before.
low quality.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's just you got to get high quality. You got to send me the full clip because like we're only seeing a couple seconds of this. There was obviously movement going on. There should be other clips to this.
Yeah.
Where are they? Like the clip starts with Bigfoot center screen.
Yeah. Somebody else had mentioned that in the comments. Yeah.
He had to get there. So where's the clip of him walking there?
Right.
I want to see that. Where's the clip of him finally leaving? Like there's missing stuff. And this goes back to Sherlock Holmes, which is really good. There's an example of the Hounds of Bakersfield, I think. Because at one point and I don't know the details good, but they're looking for a murderer, and Sherlock says something about, did anybody hear the hounds barking? And they said, no, the hounds didn't bark. That doesn't matter. And Sherlock is like, it does matter because that tells you that's still evidence of something because the hounds knew the person that walked by them. They didn't howl. They didn't bark an alarm, Thank you, Daniel. So you have to look at these clues, like what's absent, what evidence is not there,
right?
And that tells us a story. Right. So good questions, man.
Yeah. And then there was another Bigfoot video, and I'll if I can find it again, I'll tag you in that one too, where it's two Bigfoot that are walking big feet, walking across the field, and they said this is actual footage. It's grainy.
It's actual footage. That really is. It's actual footage. Yeah.
Right. And I pointed out, I said, the Bigfoot on the left, you can clearly see they have a backpack. So now they have backpacks.
Well, don't know. Bigfoot, they don't know how long they're going to be. You know, we want to take some snacks, some trail mix, you know, a couple Gatorades.
I'm waiting for the one with the fanny pack.
I know they're like Slim Jims, right? Daryl.
Yes, yes.
Don't make fun of the fanny pack. I have one. I love it.
No, I don't make it. No, I have a fanny pack too. No. I'm just waiting for that.
I love my booty pack. That's what I call it. My booty pack. It helps blend in the little roll here to the rest of me, so it's smoother.
Yes.
Yes.
I know that. Yes.
Yeah. That does help.
Yes.
You know, it's much better than dieting because I like to eat. So
I agree.
Oh man.
Plus, you can keep your snacks in there.
Yeah, there you go. Oh man. That was good, man. You got anything else?
No, I guess the last thing I'll just bring up, and a lot of people just really have to be careful with this, is the big deep fakes that I've been seeing on TikTok lately is where billionaires are giving away their cryptocurrency. There are three in particular: Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, and Donald Trump. And I'm like, people, look at their lips. Please look at their lips. It's not, the lips are not moving with what they're saying.
Right.
I said, they're not giving away their crypto. Trust me, they're not. And I'm fairly certain Donald Trump does not have crypto. He does not seem like the kind of person that would have crypto.
I doesn't know what it is.
Elon Musk, I would believe. Warren Buffett,
any videos that you see anymore that bring up question, like bring up a reason to doubt just by the content. That's when you take a closer look. You look, that's when you try to get the highest quality video that you can get. You put it on the biggest screen that you can get. Don't look at it at your phone. Honestly, don't try to look at shit like that on your phone because you're not going to see it.
Nope.
I take it home. I get the high quality video. I put it on. I have a 65-inch TV. I put it on there and look at it. You look all around, everywhere. You look at the jaw. You look at the eyes. You look at the mouth. You see what doesn't belong. Sometimes the lips don't match what's being said. Sometimes you're going to see blending on the cheekbones, on the jawline, on the ears. You're going to see that. And then you see it like scrunching around right here, like this part between the eyes and your cheeks to come up. Because as you make different motions, this bulges up.
Right.
So you want to look for that stuff. I feel sorry for the elderly who will fall. I see it all the time, Stormy. I'm going to call you Stormy. I hope that's okay. But I see that all the time. Older people look at it, no clue that they're looking at a computer-generated image of someone that might not even be them real. Like I've seen people look at it was a Princess Leia in Rogue One. A gentleman looked at it and said, "Wow, did they use like old footage of her?" And I was like, "Well, kinda, but it's not her, you know." And they really thought it was something from the 77 film. And I was like, "No, it's not. Like there's some like that get into a whole nother topic, but yeah, it's completely animated. It's completely generated. It's not real at all."
Right.
And the older generation is not going to be aware of that because they don't have the skills. They don't have the experience to deal with that. Unless they've been in the industry, they're not going to have that experience to be able to look at it.
But, to be honest with you, and, I teach computer science and, I teach high school students. It goes across all ages. It's not just the elderly. They're probably falling for it more, but it goes across all ages. It's not just the elderly that are falling for this. In fact, a lot of the commenters are young people.
Okay.
Because they're not paying attention. They don't know what clues to look for.
Right. Yeah, we see that all the time with ghost hunting shows, with all this, where they're like, "Yeah, that's awesome. I can't believe that. That's totally a ghost. That's totally a Bigfoot. And there's no thought put into it. It's a knee-jerk
I fell
reaction.
into that trap. I was a big fan of Ghost Adventures, and that was back when I was in my conspiracy theory phase. I was there. I wasn't doing critical thinking when I was looking at this. The one that really got me though, and I stopped watching Ghost Adventures after this. I forget where your favorite person was. I think it was the Bob Mackey
Bobby Mackey's, yeah.
video. And all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, I've got scratches on my back." I'm like, "I'm done." That was it. That's where I'm like, okay, critical thinking is finally starting to kick in. I'm like, yeah, we're done. Yeah, the demon has scratched your back. Yep, you're right.
Demon scratched your back. Yeah, because that's the new thing. You know, that's something I think that's kind of falling out of favor. I don't see it as much. I don't see people like claim that as much.
Right.
And it's phases. You know, like ectoplasm used to be the cheesecloth. You know, that you don't see that anymore.
Right.
Once in a while, I do come across it, but you don't see it anymore. It's now missed, you know, and this is the same thing. Like everyone was getting scratched. Everyone saw it because it was on TV. Somebody did it on TV, and it's like, oh, I want to do that too. Yep. And that's weird. That's a weird thing. Just want to be part of something so bad.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm just gonna scratch myself and claim it was a ghost.
Yeah.
So you can get that attention.
Right.
It's bad.
Plus, he had a whole production team behind him. It was probably just, you know, the production makeup that they just put on his back or whatever.
Oh, well. All right.
Right.
Cool. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. It's nice. I will have this. I have one set aside for you.
Oh, don't worry about that. You don't have to.
No. You're getting it.
Okay.
Damn it. Right. You're getting it. You're getting some stickers. You're going to get a magic trick that you can show all your friends.
Oh, I can't show you. But on the back of the computer I'm using right now, I have your Never Stop Learning sticker. Yes. So it's on the back of my computer.
Awesome.
So
that's cool. Love it. Well, you're going to get another one. I'll find some other stuff around here too. Like I said, I mean, I'm here at night all the time. I just roam around. It's like, what's not nailed down? All right, I'm taking it. It's mine. So I might throw a book or something in there too for you.
Oh, all right.
We'll see. Cool. Thanks for hanging out, dude.
Of course. Always.
All right. Take it easy.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was cool. I like when people come on. It's so much fun. I'm looking at some of the comments here. Wow. I fell for Ghost Adventures and Mind Seed. I don't know what that is until I saw the debunkers. Demon comes through. Realms of dimensions. Powerful beings. And they scratch you. My cat is more terrifying. That's right. Your cat is more terrifying than any demons. Oh, man. Oh, unpopular opinion. But the 1 million dust orb photos or video of spider webs. Oh, I have so many pictures of that. I've been, for the last year, I have had 8 cameras down at the other end of this building. In a part we don't use much anymore. But I've had 8 cameras set up. 3 of them are outside. The rest are inside. And they just go constantly. And I set them up for motion trigger. So I have tons of footage of dust. And let me tell you, when a strand of spider silk gets in front of the lens, I understand now better what people go through. Because I watched it on video for like 2 days. Because it was just there, floating in like right in front of the camera, like right here, floating. And I kept going up to the camera with a flashlight, with a magnifying glass. I couldn't see the damn thing. I would go back to the monitor. It's still there. Go back to the camera. Look, you can't see it. It was so thin, but it came up on camera because the infrared lights are right there, you know, and they're shining right off of it, reflecting back in the camera lens. And it's mind-boggling. If you don't go through that process, you might not believe that. Because so many times people have sent me a video and I'm looking at it, I'm like, yeah, that's you know, a spider web in front of your lens. Well, I went back and looked and there's nothing in front of it. You're not going to see it. You're just not going to see it. The only thing you can do is go up and wipe the lens. That's it, you know, and you should be fine. But it's such a weird experience. All right, what do we got? Something to Sasquatch about. Hi, Kenny. Some debunkers have been mentioning your work on the SLS camera. So I have done articles. Did I do an article or did I do videos? I know I did 2 videos on the SLS camera. Um, and that is basically, I mean, it's the Xbox Connect. It's both versions, the older, the original version, and then the 2.0 that came out. And both versions they have major flaws, and it will see any kind of furniture like chairs or stairs or ceiling fans or archways or something like that. It'll put a stick figure on it. So it's very unreliable. I would suggest, if you have time, look up my name, Kenny Biddle, on skepticalinquirer.org and go down to those videos so you can see them, because I think they're like 45 minutes each or something like that. And I break down exactly how they work, especially the first one. I break down exactly how it works. And then the second video, I do the new one, because there was in the first video, I mentioned how the stick figures are always anchored to a place. Like they're usually anchored to a piece of furniture or some kind of architectural feature, and they don't walk around like you and I. They just don't walk around the room. And then somebody put up a video. They have a YouTube channel where these stick figures are walking around like you and I, but you see the room and there's no person there. And I was like, well, shit, like, how'd I do this? I didn't know how they did it at first. I watched some of his videos. I realized he was using the new one. And then I realized, all right, well, let me get the new one and let me download the software to that, because it's free from Microsoft. You don't actually have to buy it from a ghost hunting, gadget device place. But I downloaded the software and I realized that there was extra features and it worked a little bit differently. So you could basically adjust the sensitivity of the infrared sensor so that it would not see it. Wait, how did I do it? I did it one way because I thought you could black it out. I turned it up so the entire scene was white, but anyone entering the scene still had a stick figure assigned to them. So it was a white screen with a colored stick figure, like red, green, purple, whatever, that would walk around. And you could actually record that, you walking around as a stick figure, and do certain things. And then you chroma key out the white, and you're left with a transparent layer of just a stick figure walking around. So once I figured out how to do that with the Kinect, I realized, like, the guy that was making these YouTube videos was simply recording himself walking around and doing things, and then overlaying that video, that transparent layer on top of additional video, and doing that. So it was really cool. I actually liked the second video that I did better, because it was a learning experience for all of us. Because when I started it, I had no idea what I was doing. And you kind of learn, as I do, how to do it. And I actually end up making a video where a stick figure knocks a doll off the table, which is really cool. I mean, it was fun planning that out and scripting it and making it look really cool. But it looks just like this other, ghost guy channel. So there's a lot more on that. Again, if you're interested and you have time, check out those videos. It'll give you a lot more information about the inner workings, how it works, the number one rule that ghost hunters break, and that's walking around with it. You're not supposed to do that. That's the one rule that they tell you straight up. Like, put it on a stable surface that doesn't move. And yet I see it sold with a handle so people can walk around, and that's screwing it up. So, but yeah, I see. Okay, explore. Okay, cool. So I hope you got some. I hope that answered your question, and I hope you enjoyed the videos. Question from Redman. Let me take a sip. We're getting near the end. This has been a fun show. I've been loving this. Since landing your dream job, have you had anything catch your attention paranormal wise, as far as things sent to you? So, I mean, everything really catches my attention. I have interest in a lot of things, and I have to really prioritize, because before I came here, it was more like, whatever just popped up, I would work on one thing and then just ignore everything else. But I mean, I have this whiteboard over here that you see part of. I'm not going to mess with the camera too much because last time I did, I screwed it up. So that is all things that I have listed. They're all projects that I have listed that I'm looking at doing. I have an article that's due this weekend, but I also have videos, several videos in there. What else I have? Let's see. Well, there's a Warrens, something to do with the Warrens. Ooh. There's reviews. There's a bunch of articles. There's a couple things that stand out. The spirit stick was one of them. So this was on my list. I can actually cross that off this weekend because that video is almost done. But as far as anything, like, there's so much that catches my attention, and I really wish I could do every story that comes my way. Because I get that squirrel distraction, like I start working on a video and I start talking to somebody else and they're like, hey, have you ever heard of this? And I'm like, oh, I have not. Let me look it up. Oh, boom. And then next thing you know, like an hour later, I'm like 3 YouTube videos in and I'm 50 articles in to this new topic. And I'm like, oh shit, I got to finish this video. I got to finish this article. So there's always something that grabs my attention. And I have to sometimes focus. I have to close my door. Usually my door is open, but sometimes I have to close it, turn my on-air light on so I can sit here and just focus and not get distracted. But there's so many topics. There's what else? Oh, psychic power testing devices. What is that? I have things up here. I don't even know what they are anymore. Like there's an article that I want to write, and I'm not going to tell you what the name is because I'm not sure what it is. But I have a name up here, and I keep looking at that for the last 3 days. I'm like, I don't know who that is. I wrote it there. I know I wrote it there, and I know I wanted to look into it, but I have no idea who that is. So I have to actually just go and research it. But yeah, everything kind of interests me. I wish there was like 40 hours in a day, and I could spend 39 and a half hours of it doing this. Because then I might be able to get something done, but we'll see. I hope that answered your question. I don't know if I just kind of like skirted around it or not, but we'll see. Hopefully that answered your question. Tori, there you go. I got it right. Anything happening in your haunted museum? No, nothing at all. So outside my door, and again, I'm trying not to screw up the camera too much. So there's my door. Right there. It's open. Out the darkness here. That is a lobby. And there is a huge display case right next to it. And there's several cases in a seminar room. We have a reading room, which is like a reading room / seminar room. And there's tons of stuff out there that are supposed to be cursed or haunted or possessed or something like that. And have you any supposed haunted objects? Oh, great. Oh, man, good one, Tim. Follows right in, or flows right into this answer. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that's out there. And there's a ton more at home that I have yet to unpack. Actually, this last week, I unpacked a lot of stuff, but there's still stuff in boxes. So last time I counted, I think I had like 300 items that people claim are, again, like either haunted, possessed, cursed, just bad luck, whatever. And I've had some of these things for years and nothing has ever happened. It really looks like when I had it set up at my last house, it really looked like I broke into a Goodwill store and just stole a whole bunch of random items and then put them up in my basement. And now they're displayed here or other places. Most of the ones that are displayed here have something to do with investigations that I've done, or they are just so out there that I was like, oh, I got to tell the story for this. Like I have a Jesus bat out there, which is a good story I'll get into later or some other time. I usually bring that to a conference with me. I have some of my testing devices. So I have like a remote viewing testing device. I have a dowsing rod testing. I have a Ouija board tester. And I also have a pendulum tester out there on display. What else do I have? And then I have like a whole case. I have a display case that has one shelf that's nothing but different Ouija boards, including the pink Toys R Us special edition one. I have the Jesus Ouija board, which is really cool. I think that's my favorite. I have a couple dolls that are supposed to be possessed and or cursed. I have several items that people have sent me that's supposedly specifically curse me. Like they sent them to me with curses on them to affect me, which still living large, bitches. But yeah, I mean, nothing has ever happened. Maybe you should put the paranormal porn stick in there and see what happens. Just say. So the porn stick has been in there for the last 2 days, I think, but it's been off because honestly, that's annoying. It was annoying when I was building it because it kept going off. She's been on all week. That's why her batteries are pretty much dead because I used the ones that came with it, which are shit. But she's been on all week and has been going off every time somebody walks by. And this actually, I mean, I was playing with this, the Home Depot one, $10 one. I was 15 to 16 feet away and it was going off, which is really cool. I mean, that's actually a good distance. I like that. So that goes off all the time. Well, in the last week when people walk by. But other than that, nothing really happens. I mean, all these things that we're supposed to, we're testing a haunted. Yes, we are. We have an experiment going on. Well, Tim has most of it. He's in charge of it, and he's doing a great job coordinating everything. But we're testing it. The rest of the stuff out there, like all the display cases are unlocked. I mean, some of them are locked. Yeah, some of them are locked. Some of them are not. But even so, like, I would hope that I would come in one morning and like one haunted doll just decided I want the whole display case for myself and beat the shit out of the other dolls. That'd be great. That would be awesome. But nothing like that ever happens. Everything just stays in the same spot. Nothing moves. Nothing gets up and walks around. Nothing breaks out. Nothing happens. Mostly because I don't think anything's haunted. I just don't think it works. So hopefully that answered your questions because there was a couple there. All right, we're getting there. Oh my God, we're almost at 2 hours. Woo! What's the best way to send things to you to review? Email is the best way. So this is actually a great question. Email is the best way. You can send an email to Biddle, Biddle, at centerforinquiry.org. That's my email address. If you send it to me, depending on what it is, send me original files. Okay, original audio files, video, and photos. Please don't send cropped images. And I'm not saying you will. This is just disclaimer. Don't send cropped things. Don't send edit it or manipulate it or enhanced or whatever. Do not mess with anything. I want the raw file so that I can look at it myself. Best thing to do is I suggest just give me the very basics. Tell me where it was filmed or where it was recorded and how long ago. And that's basically it. Don't tell me what I'm supposed to see or hear because I don't want to be primed to one way or the other. Let me look at that. And then if I have questions, I'll write back. I'm going to write back anyway, but when I do respond, it'll be my questions to clarify certain things. And that's usually the start of the process. That's basically it. That's the easiest way to do it. Facebook Messenger, I don't use that for transferring different files because like pictures, when you send pictures over, it messes with the quality. It lowers the quality and the resolution of the file. Also takes out the metadata. So when you get original files, the metadata most likely is attached to that. And that's all the information about the camera or the recording device that I can look at and get more information from. But sometimes if you send it through Facebook Messenger, that data is lost. or it's not included. It's not lost. It's just not included, and then I have to ask for it. So that's pretty much the basic idea. Gracias. There's one video I want you to look at, but it's on Facebook, and it would need a small prime to show you. I'll ponder this. I mean, we already know that there's something like an issue with this, because if it's already on Facebook, it's probably going to be low quality anyway, especially if it's not yours. So if it's not yours and you have to take it from a different source, then we're already starting at a disadvantage. I'll still look at it for you if you're not sure, and we can discuss like possibilities of what it is. But it will be lower quality. There won't be as much information as I need, so I can give you an opinion. I mean, I've done that plenty of times. I can give an opinion just on a viewing, and we can go from there. So, all right, cool. Stormy, that's your real name. I know that now. What is your take on the Warrens? Con artists. That's what I'm going to say. I don't think they are legitimate at all. I think they exploited people. I think they took advantage of people. I don't think they knew what they were doing. I think they made it up. And I think they just made situations worse. Anything that they presented as evidence was shit. I can say that off the bat. Everything that I've seen from them has been shit. Hasn't been even like few seconds, couple minutes, usually figure out what's going on. I did a piece in Skeptical Inquirer about the photograph from Amityville that they presented. And I was able to figure out pretty much to my satisfactory what happened there. But yeah, I don't think they were nice people. I really don't think they were nice people. I think they took advantage of a lot of people, and it's sad that they are put on such a high pedestal by some people. It's sad that their reputation is being distorted by the movies that are coming out, that have been coming out, by actors that play them as like very nice, kind, polite, and loving kind of people, when I don't see any of that in their public appearances. Anytime they were on talk shows, or when they were on that really bad like it wasn't a live stream, it was like an internet kind of vlog kind of thing that they were on a lot, I think with their nephew. It's just, I don't see the same personality. I mean, I thought Ed was just an asshole, and that's my personal opinion of him. But I mean, I'm saying that, and I have to put the disclaimer out. I've only met Lorraine, and I met her once for all of like 5 minutes, and like she wouldn't talk to me. I said hello, and she totally like blew me off. Wouldn't respond to me. So, I mean, yeah, I could be biased, but I never met Ed. The only opinion I have is what I see on the recordings from his televised appearances, from news appearances, and just his interactions with people. Especially if you disagree with him. Oh my God, he was like all over you. So, yeah, I need a bottle of wine and a lawyer to make my house a lot of money. Hey, Ken. Yeah. You know, it seems like you have to have a good story. And really, I don't think that happens too much today. I can't think of any good examples, like modern examples. So like these, like the Conjuring, the Connecticut cases, the Amityville, all these like major well-known cases, even like The Exorcist, they're like, we're talking the 70s and 80s. And that was pre-internet days. So it was so much easier to get stuff out there, because the only way the story got out there was wait for it, if it came out in a novel. Like people had to write novels or write an article in the newspaper, and the Associated Press had to pick it up and spread it around the country. But most of the information from these stories, from these big famous cases, came from fucking novels. And you know what my pet peeve is about these things? Oh, look, we're going over 2 hours. Third hour, people. My pet peeve with these is that it's supposed to be, let's see, the story of a true haunting. We all know that's bullshit. When it's based on a true story, like all you really need is the names of the people. You know, maybe the names of two people that were in there, and maybe the general story. Like the outline of the story to be true. That's all you need. But my pet peeve with this is the dialogue. Like, this is filled with dialogue of conversations that happened years, sometimes months, sometimes years before it was written down. Nobody wrote it down at the time. Nobody had recorders going at the time, except during interviews. But all of this dialogue is just created. And it just boggles my mind. I mean, this book should be only like maybe like this thin. If you take all the bullshit dialogue out. Oh my God. Oh, hour 3. That's right. Damn it, Bob. You're welcome, Stormy. I hope I answered everyone's questions. I mean, sometimes I ramble on all the time. So hopefully I do actually get you an answer to all of your questions. But damn it, Bob asked about the new house. Yes, new house is doing awesome. I'm currently working on it. I took off last week. That's why there was no show because I took off all last week and I worked on the house. I ripped apart the kitchen because it was from like 1968. And it's in that transition phase. It's not together yet. The demolition was done, and it's now we're on the uphill. Like the downhill is the demolition because that's the easy thing to do. Ripped down the walls, ripped up the flooring, took down the ceiling, and then like there was a door. For some reason, this is weird. We have the middle bedroom that we have had 2 doors. One that opens where the like a short hallway where the rest of the bedrooms opened, and then there was a door that opened into the kitchen, like literally like into the kitchen. So I took that door off. This is going to stir up activities. Don't do it. Too late. Already done. So I took the door off. I framed it out already. I'm gonna go tomorrow and get some drywall and put it up so I can wall that off, and then start. I got to paint the walls and then put a new ceiling in, put a new flooring in. I got the floating floor to put in. So that's going to be fun. But it's been great. The house is solid. We got a lot of space, a lot of yard, a lot of room inside. I got a workshop now, which is great. I have a workshop in there, which when I released the video about the sex toy glow stick, I love that name. You'll see the workshop. It's got a lot of stuff in it from our maintenance guy, our building manager, but he's coming tomorrow. We're going to clear it out so that I can set up everything in there. If anyone has a toolbox, like a rolling cart kind of toolbox that you don't want anymore, let me know. Or if you know of anything, because I'm looking for one cheap to put in there. But yeah, I got a workshop so I can start building different equipment or recreate equipment or take apart ghost hunting equipment that you might want to donate. Embellishment. That's right. I think you're talking about the Warrens there. Embellishments. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, everything's going good with the new house. I'm loving it. I love being here. I love this job. This job is so great. I mean, not only do I get to investigate mysteries every day, but I also get involved with other projects, traveling. Here's the thing. I haven't really told anyone yet, but I might be going to France next year for a World Skeptics Congress. I'll tell you more about that later as things develop. Anyway, but I've been traveling around. I went to the Pacific Northwest last year. I was able to do some lectures around. We got more lectures scheduled for the coming year. I've been able to build this place up. Like put my put my my mark in this building, this big office building with displays and help with projects. And Eric behind the wall, who is awesome. I mean, Eric is such a great guy, and he does a lot of outreach, does a lot of like getting the word out there about what we do, and we're coming up with projects and workshops and stuff to do here, getting people together for workshops and lectures and meetings, and it's just so it's a great experience, and I cannot express how much I love this place. I just love it. Have you met Scooby-Doo yet? Actually, I have Scooby-Doo. There he is. You don't think I have one? Damn right I do. All right. Any other questions, Tim? How's Donna? Oh, yeah, we do. Donna's doing good. She is in Philly. She's in the Philadelphia area right now, visiting with our friend Diana. She's doing good. Her friend Diana comes up. She lives in North Carolina, but her job home base is in the Philly area. So she comes up once in a while and spends like a week or two. And my wife goes down there so they can hang out, and have some fun. Donna said she's in Philly, like the Philly area. I don't know exactly where in Philly area, but like Philly, probably actually, she's probably close to you, Bob. I think she's probably more in that area because I think that's where she would be. I don't know. Reach out to her, send her a message, and ask her where she is so she can come visit. But yeah, she's doing good, and she'll be back. So next week I might have something. I plan on doing a show, so I have something next week. But Donna should be back next week, and she'll be sitting right over there behind the doll. Did Eric go on a ghost hunt yet? He did not. We haven't gotten there yet. Next month we have one of our lectures because we're doing something for the eclipse. So there is a total eclipse coming in April. It's April 8th of 2024. And Buffalo is like smack dead center in the path of totality. So we are capitalizing off of that. Not really capitalizing. We are, what are we doing? We are embracing that, and we're going to have lectures leading up to that. And the day of, we're going to have a whole bunch of activities here. So if you're in the area, you want to come by. I might actually rent tent space in my backyard because I'm like right over there for like really cheap if you want to come up. But what was I getting at? We're going to have lectures every month in January, February, March, and leading up into April. But the first one is about the mythology and folklore around eclipses. And Ben Radford, my editor, who's been on the show a couple times, we're flying him in, and he's going to do the lecture for us, and he's going to stay throughout the weekend. So he's going to be, he doesn't know it yet, but he's going to be a live in-studio guest for that show that Friday night. But we're also going to try and do some stuff that weekend, and hopefully we'll get Eric along with us to go on some kind of investigation. He has gone with me. I watched the, there was a premiere of a ghost hunting show, which is not on network television, but it's on like a Tubi or something like that. Nick Groff, wow, Nick Groff, did a new series, and so I actually bought tickets for me and Eric, and we went to that so he could experience like not only watching a episode of a ghost hunting show, but to see how everyone in the crowd, in the audience, reacted. And let me tell you, that was fun. To see an outsider with no experience in this, see how everyone was reacting, like cheering and like, that's awesome, and asking questions, and complete belief, no critical thinking whatsoever. It was just amazing. It was an amazing experience for him. And I think he really enjoyed it. And after we were done, he was like, I want to do more. I want to do more of this. I want to go out with you and do like more of these events and investigations. So I think he's going to be coming along. Like I know there's a psychic fair that's up here. I've been to it once, but we're going to go again, and I'm going to bring Eric. So we'll see. Hopefully, if somebody lets us go along on a ghost hunt, that's the big thing. Like, it's either pay or play, or I have to rent a place myself. Because a lot of the groups up here or anywhere, they just don't let me. They don't let me tag along. So I would really like to. If any groups are in the area and you're watching, reach out. All right. So, any other questions? Yeah. Oh my God, I don't even have to ask. Bob, did you get a chance to see the Northern Lights last night? I did not. Was I supposed to? I am totally. I'm unaware and confused about this. Was I supposed to see them last night? I don't know if I was, but I was. No, I was inside. I think I was here. When was I here? What's today? Friday? Yeah, today's Friday. I was here until probably like 7:00 because we had our eclipse meeting last night. So they were supposed to be seen in New York last night. Where in New York, Bob? Damn it! I'm on one side. I'm like on the extreme western side. You can't go any more west than me. So I don't know if it was our side or if it was like more in the middle, central New York, or if it was on the east. I don't know. But I didn't see anything. Oh, farther south. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't see anything. So no, I didn't see them. That sucks. I would have liked to. I would love to see them. I think that would be a really cool experience. And I mean, I've seen video, I've seen pictures, but I know that they don't do them justice. So I would really like to see them in person one day. All right. Is that it? I think we have it. I don't see any other questions in the queue. Oh, wait. We had a small chance to see them. I looked, but didn't see anything except Bigfoot. I saw a UFO, turned out to be a drone. Oh, well. All right. So with that, let me see. Is there anything coming up? I don't know if I have announcements because I really have stopped. Like when we get this far along. Today's December 1st. Holy shit. Where did the year go? Holy crap. So we're in the last month. Next week. Oh shit. I got a board meeting next week. All right. I got that. I have an interview on December 13th. Oh, on Sasquatchers with Andrew Christie. I don't know if that's live or if that's recorded, but I have that. Oh yeah. Thanks, Bob. Next Wednesday, the 6th. Three Tortured Souls. I don't know the topic. I think we're doing like an open mic night kind of thing, but we're bringing the questions, and we might take questions from the audience. I think so. I don't remember because I glanced at the topics that were in our feed, but I think that's what we're doing. December 15th. No, wait, wrong date. Wait, no, that's it. December 15th is our winter solstice party. So if you're in the area, the Buffalo area, we have a winter solstice party. Hey, Shane, Beehive Skeptics is here. Nice to see you, buddy. Thanks for the interview. He interviewed me. I interviewed them, but they interviewed me first back in October at SciCon, and they published it on Thanksgiving. So go check out Beehive Skeptics, their podcast. It's really good. But yeah, December 15th is our winter solstice party. You can look on Facebook. I can put a link on the I Am Kenny Biddle page, so you can register. I think it's $20 for non-members, but members are free, and it's a catered event. We're going to have food. We're going to have activities. I'm going to give tours of the building. So if you come here and you participate, you'll get a tour of all the displays that we have out here. We're going to go through the library. You're going to see the whole secret basement library, which is like awesome. So it's a really good time. I went last year and I was like, this is great. This is awesome. And then we have the holidays, and that's it for now. I don't think I really have anything else. Actually, I will plug this. It's not till September, but September, I think 20th. Let me make sure of this first before I say it, because I think I had one date down. So May 31st to June 2nd. Oh shit, that's not good. That might be bad. May 31st to June 2nd is the Bigfoot camping weekend out in, where is it? PA Camping Adventure in southwestern New York. No, oh my God, I'm so screwed up. Southwestern Pennsylvania. So I'm supposed to speak at that, but there might be a conflict. Details later. But that's all the announcements I have. Hey, Dwight Turner's here. What's up, Dwight? I used to work with Dwight building aircraft, and I left and he retired. How's the retired life, buddy? Hope you're doing well. I miss hanging out with you. All right, everyone else, I'm going to say we had a great show. I loved it. The questions were awesome. You guys were great. You had some good questions. Bob was the only one that came on with me. I hope next time we have an open mic night, you guys maybe feel more comfortable and you might want to come on with me and just chat. It's really cool. It's fun. Don't be nervous. It's great. I don't bite much, but he's going to get a magic trick and stickers. Anyway, all right. So you're welcome, everyone. Thanks, Kent, and everyone else that joined us tonight. It was great. I had so much fun talking to you guys and talking about these topics. I'm going to go home and probably drink some more and then just chill for the weekend because I got a lot of work to do. I got flooring and painting and all that stuff to do. So yay me. All right, so let me set this up. Where's my video, my outro video? There it is. All right, everyone, have a safe weekend. Be nice, be polite, and remember, never stop learning. And I'll see you next week. Bye.